Hello everyone, Miss Demery here. Today we are going to be learning about I can find the area of a parallelogram. Okay? A lot of you are probably going, well, Miss Demery, I have no idea what a parallelogram is. Okay? And that's totally okay. Maybe, I'm sure you've heard of them, but it may have been a while. So a parallelogram, what that means is a lot of times they're shown like, and I need to get my pen up. They're shown like this. Okay? What it means is the opposite sides are parallel to each other. So this side and this side are never going to intersect each other. And a lot of times people show it with arrows. This side and this side will never intersect each other. Meaning that if I would keep drawing this on and on, the opposite sides are never going to overlap. Intersection means this. And they go through each other. That's never going to happen in a parallelogram. Even think of a rectangle. This side and this side are parallel to each other, and this side are parallel to each other. They're never going to intersect each other on opposite sides, even the diagonal one. Okay? Alright, so now that you know what a parallelogram is, we're going to talk about the formulas. So area of a parallelogram is base times height. Now I'm going to use letters to show that formula. So A is area, B is base, and H is height. A equals base times height. Okay? So there is going to be a note sheet. This is the note sheet. I have it posted. Now let's say that you're a type of person where you're like, you know what, Miss Demer, I really need to get the notes before I start learning. Pause the video, copy down the notes. If you're a person that's like, you know what, I'm just going to wait till after the video, that's how I learn best, wait, okay? It's posted online. You can certainly get the video or the notes afterwards too. Do what works best for you, okay? Today we're going to be talking about a square, rectangle, and a parallelogram because those are all parallelograms, okay? They're all on opposite sides. They never intersect each other like we just talked about. Okay? Now, on page 221 of your math journal, if you open that up, right here, we have, notice the height is on the side. Now for base, they only do, look, that dark line there, the base is only that right there. It's not this dotted line. The height is the dotted line because we want to know from the top to the bottom. Same thing here. They go from the corner, they get that right angle, and that's the height, and this is the base. Now for letter V, I'm going to make the height right here. Now if you made the height right here, that's totally okay. Just make sure your base is not included in this. You don't want this included in your base. You want just where this, and I'm going to make it in the color green. Right here, that's our base. Don't do that outside. Now, on page 222, we're going to use some examples of this. So, what I always do is I label my base and height just to get started. So I see my base is on the bottom. My height is I'm going to draw a line down and make my height. Okay? Now, we talked about units when we did the coordinate grid. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I simply got that from just counting each box on my base. So this is going to be 6 units. Now I go to my height on the side where my right angle is. Notice how I did not count that right there. Never, ever, ever count that. 1, 2. 2 units for my height. Now to find the area of this, again, our formula is base times height equals area. Okay, so I'm going to take 6 times 2, which gives me 12 units squared. Now for problem number 2, I want you to pause the video right now. I want you to try to do it on your own, and then check to see that you did it correctly. Okay, I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to find my height, and I'm going to do it on the side. Some of you may have did it right here, and that's totally okay, because let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 here, and I also get 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Doesn't matter which way that you do it. Now our base is 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I only do the bottom. 4 units. So my base is 4 units. My base is the bottom here. My height right here is also 4 units. My base times my height gives me 16 units squared. We always use square units when we are talking about area. Okay, so you always have that squared in there. Now we're going to do one more problem. Again, what I would like you to do is to pause the video, do the problem, and then check to make sure that you did it correctly. Okay, I am going to make my height right here this time. Now if you made it out here, that's okay too. Either one works. Okay, just make sure that you're not using this for your base, because this is my base right here. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. Ooh, now I only have half of one here. Well, my base is going to be 3.5 units. And that's okay to have halves. My height right here, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So I have 4.5 units here. Now to find the area of this, we take our base times our height. So we've done a lot with multiplying decimals this year. So 3.5 times 4.5, and we put it up against our wall. Our decimals do not need to be lined up, just a refresher. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. Add a 0 since we're changing place values. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 more is 14. I add those up. I get 5, 7, 5, 1. Now our decimal, we go up against our wall, we count 1. We go up against our wall, we count 1 here. Add them up, we get 2 decimals. 1, 2. So we get 15 and 75/100ths units squared. Make sure that you have that units squared. Okay. Now what you are going to do is you are going to start working on your home link. I'm going to go over some questions that you may have on your home link just in case before you get started. So, on the top there, you are just finding the area of the parallelograms. Now, with that being said, you are going to have, that's what you're doing all up here. This you need to find the base or the height. It looks like you find both the bases of these. I do want you to try that. I'm certainly confident that each and every one of you can do that. Okay? Now down here, number 7, I'm going to give us a little refresher. I'm going to do number 7 with you, and then you do 8 and 9 on your own. So remember the word of. Of, we talked about clue words, that means multiplying. So we know that we're going to multiply here. Now 20%, we always have to convert that to a decimal. So 20%, I move it 2 places to the right, and I get 0.20 times 45. Okay, and I'm going to erase this down here because it's starting to get a little messy. And I feel like you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so notice I switched my 20% to decimal. Of is multiply, and then I multiply that by 45. 0 times 5 gives me 5, and again, since we're doing decimals, we put it up against our wall. It's okay that the decimals are not lined up when we're multiplying. That's only for adding and subtracting. 0 times 5 gives you 0. 5 times 2 gives you 10. Add a 0. 0 times 4 gives you 0, and 4 times 2 gives you 8. We add those up. Now, up against our goal, I count 1, 2, 0 here. We have 2 total, so I move it 2 places over, which gives me 9. Okay, if you have any questions about any of this, please let me know. Have a great rest of your day.